Ask Lori, a show designed to give a better perspective on relationships no matter what the circumstance may be. You can start, have, and keep unstoppable relationships. Lori Ann Davis can tell you how. Have questions? Need answers? Ask Lori.
Thank you for tuning in to the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. This is Ask Lori, and I'm your host, Lori Ann Davis. Don't let love and passion get lost in your life. As your relationship specialist, I'm here to share secrets with you every week, helping you to create unstoppable relationships. Welcome to this week's show. I am so happy that you have joined us today. I'm here to help you find, renew, and keep that love and passion in your relationships. I bring to you the benefits of 28 years experience helping people create the relationships of their dreams, and I'm here to help you with yours. Do you have relationship questions? I am sure that you do, and I want to hear from you. Email them to me through my website at Lori@LoriAnnDavis.com. That's Lori @LoriAnnDavis.com. Then be sure to listen in every week. You can also listen to my Ask Lori segment on the Profit and Growth Hour every Tuesday at 5 p.m., where Dr. Business and I will be answering more of your relationship questions. Today, we are going to be discussing turning failures into wins. And we would like to thank our sponsor, Lindsay Enita. She is the owner of Transparent Grace. She is a life coach and a speaker. She's not your typical coach. With Lindsay, you will only get real talk that inspires, challenges, and uplifts you. She helps women love from the inside out. You can contact her at 980-202-1598. That's 980-202-1598. And today we're discussing turning failure into wins. Failures in life and love are inevitable. We all have or will experience them, but the past does not have to define our future. Failures do not have to keep us down or keep us from loving again. We can turn failures into wins. It's what you do with these so-called failures that is so crucial. Do you shut yourself off and decide that succeeding in love isn't possible? Do you decide that all men or women are a certain way, and so why even try? I really hope your answer to those questions was, of course not, because everybody has baggage. It means that you've lived and you've experienced and you've learned. That really is the key to turning failure into wins. Learning all you can from the experience and using what you have learned to create the life you want in the future. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Get paper and pencil out, because when we come back, we are going to learn all about turning failures into wins. You're listening to Ask Lori, and I'm your host, Lori Ann Davis. You're turned in to WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte.
I'm Peyton Manning, and I joined Nationwide because they put members first. And what's important to you is important to them.
What about my car?
Yep.
My retirement?
Uh-huh.
Our house?
Definitely. Protecting what you care about. Just another way Nationwide does it right. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Paid spokesperson, subject to underwriting guidelines and scales and availability vary.
Contact Nationwide agent Chance Perry for a free quote today. The only chance you want to take when protecting your business, life, and belongings. It's 704-554-5701. That's 704-554-5701.
Hey everybody, Jason Owens here, founder of the Sales Workshop. If you're a business owner and you're looking for that extra edge, that extra nudge that's going to get you the deal, that's going to feel authentic to you and obviously going to feel authentic to the people that you're selling to, my word, if you're looking for that, I have great news. The Sales Workshop is coming to Charlotte, North Carolina on Saturday, March 21st. This is an action-packed full-day event that is going to give you all kinds of tools, tips, techniques, things that you can use in your business starting right away. As soon as that workshop is over, you can begin using this material in your business right away. You're going to have a blast with it. I've been running these workshops all throughout the Southeast, and it is a ton of fun helping a lot of people, and I can't wait to give you some of the best content, some of the newest content that I've created, and it's going to happen Saturday, March 21st. Now, for listeners of Ask Lori, we have a special promo code for you, so I'm going to have you write down two things. Number one, write down this promo code, LORI. Now, you're going to want to apply that at the checkout after you go to salesworkshop.tv. Salesworkshop.tv, promo code LORI, especially for listeners of Ask Lori. Killer deal on the price for this workshop. I can't wait to see you there. Again, my name is Jason Owens, and I'll see you Saturday, March 21st at the Sales Workshop.
Welcome back to WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte, and those streaming live through the free TuneIn radio app. You're listening to Ask Lori, and I'm your host, Lori Ann Davis. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing turning failures into wins. But first, are you single and frustrated looking for that soulmate? You can always join my Successful Singles meetup group and learn how to find and keep that ideal partner. You can find all the information on my website at lorianndavis.com. That's LORIANN Davis.com. And joining us in the studio today is Lindsay Enita. Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We have such the perfect topic to talk about today.
I think so.
I am so excited because, people get hurt in love. They get hurt in life, but we're going to talk mostly, I think, about love.
Right.
And then what happens is I find they start self-sabotaging their future relationships.
Yes.
Because of what they're telling themselves, how they're acting. So we're going to talk today about how not to do that, how to get past those failures and actually turn them into wins.
Right. And honestly, what happens is when people get hurt in love, then it really transfers into their life. And then they forget how to go back into that love thing again. They don't want to get hurt. They kind of pull back and go into a cocoon, if you will, because my heart has been broken, and maybe their identity, maybe it's been a long relationship. I experienced long relationship.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Both of us.
And then you have to figure out, well, who the heck am I? And how does this play out in my life now? So then you have to understand the reason for adversity, understand how that actually can benefit you for the next great relationship.
And sometimes great relationships that we have had, no matter how long they have lasted for, are not a failure.
No.
That was one of the most important things, I think, for me to realize. I had been married for 28 years, thought I would be married forever. Sometimes circumstances do come and make it so that those relationships do not last.
True.
And for me, I needed to remember that 28 years of a fabulous relationship was not a failure. But even if you've only had a year or 6 months of a good relationship, that's not a failure. Not all relationships are meant to last forever.
Right.
And some are only meant to last for short periods of time. And we learn something from those and we move on so that the next relationship blossoms and becomes better.
Right. And I think that not only that we want to look at the next relationship blossoms and gets better, but that we blossom and get better. Because the what happens is that when you're in a relationship, most people invest, especially women. We invest, and we want that long-term thing to happen, and when it doesn't happen, then we really get confused because we've invested so heavily. Then we have to understand, once that relationship is over, that does not mean that we are less than. The rejection is kind of hard, it is, but it's also a learning lesson. Because, example, I looked at the things that I probably could have done better in that relationship, and then said, okay, these are the things that are not the greatest for me. They weren't the greatest for my partner. And then I can work on those in me.
Right.
I can understand who I am, what I have to give. And that way, when I present myself, or when someone comes to see what I have to offer, I know exactly who I am. So then I don't shrink back. I don't morph into what they want. One of my favorite movies is The Runaway Bride. And it is The Runaway Bride because, and when I first saw it years ago, I didn't think that I would actually use this in my life. So
You never know.
you never know.
Never say never.
But Julia Roberts, every man that she was with, she loved whatever eggs that he loved.
Right.
Whatever eggs he loved. She would, what's his name? Robert Gere interviewed her and said, well, what is your favorite type of eggs? And she said, it's eggs with chives and hollandaise sauce. And he said, okay. Well, he interviewed all of her past boyfriends, and it didn't matter what his was. It could have been cheese omelet, scrambled eggs hard, sunny side up. Whatever his was, that's what she liked.
Right.
And sometimes we, as women especially, we do that. Whatever you like is fine with me. But once you come out of a relationship, you can really begin to explore yourself again. See what you really do like. See the things that are great about you, and really focus on them. Those things that are not so great, work on them.
Right.
But what happens is there's a recreation. Adversity, like a fire. When a fire comes in the forest, it does great damage.
It does, yes.
Great damage. And if you've ever seen a picture, the picture is so desolate and it seems hopeless. And that's how we feel.
Right.
We feel burnt to the ground and just no life there. But if you look closely underneath,
It's fertilizing.
it's
the new-
fertilizing. And in a
Yes.
few months, maybe, in a few weeks, if the season is right, you'll see green again.
Yes.
You'll see life again. And that's something that I want all people to know, is that relationship can end, but the adversity grows something that never would have happened or never would have come about without it.
Yes. And sometimes we can say, well, did we do something wrong, or did the other person do something wrong? And working with couples, when I'm trying to help them come together, sometimes what we realize is that neither person is doing anything wrong. They just aren't a good match for each other.
Right.
So it could be that your heart was broken because the other person decided you weren't the right match for them. And it really is that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Now, again, it's always good to look to see what you can learn, what you can grow. But it could simply be that you are just not the right partner for them.
Right.
But for somebody else, those same things are perfect for them.
Right.
And all that you needed was to find that person who thinks you are the right match for them.
Oh, yes, because what you have to ultimately know is, and I actually dealt with this one myself. I don't think I'm a bad person. I know that I gave my all and all of those things. And so, honestly, it took me a minute to not think that it was me. And I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm horrible, or, these things are so wrong with me. But they were not. And even my partner at that time was like, you're a wonderful woman. The point is, though, between us, we were together since we were teenagers. I'm 40 years old now.
You'd grown and
I've
changed.
grown and changed, and I've grown and changed into who I love and who I want to be and who I'm supposed to be.
Yes.
And sometimes you grow differently.
Yes.
And that's really what happened. So it took a long time for me to get it, because that's not what we're taught. We're taught that it must be one or the other. oh, it must be him, or it must be her.
Because it has to be somebody's fault.
Right. You know, we're a nation of fault finders, to be honest. We're going to find that fault somewhere. It's not me. We just don't want it to be us, is basically what it is. And it doesn't have to be us. What it does have to do is then say, okay, how do we go from here?
Right.
That's the most important thing. Now that it's over, now that the heartbreak is, it's still there, but how do I pick up the pieces? And what I want to encourage women and men to do is to look at this, honestly, that's what I said in the beginning, as a chance to see who you are, what you want. So when you go out intentional about who you are and what you want, those people are going to be attracted to that.
Yes, they are.
And they're going to say, you know what? You're looking kind of cute. I
Then
like
you get that smile back on your face.
What? And you just, because then you're not being less than who you are. You're not dimming. You're not shrinking under any pressure or anybody else's belief of who you are. But you are being exactly who you are, transparent in who you are, and loving who you are.
Yes.
And that's probably what's going to draw them in the first place.
It is. Sometimes people will stay in that relationship too long, trying to make things work because they're afraid.
Exactly.
They're miserable, but they're afraid. They're
Been there, done
afraid
that.
of the unknown. They're afraid of change.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that they can move forward, they can grow from it,
Right.
and that there might be, through all of this, a flower that blossoms and grows, and this wonderful relationship could be waiting there for them.
Oh, yes.
That's the perfect relationship, but until they have, the courage to leave the one they're in.
Right.
Now, we're not encouraging people to get divorced who
Please
are married.
don't leave. Don't do that.
We would like them to try everything that they possibly can. When I'm talking about this, a lot of times this is newer relationships.
Right.
That I see people trying to force them to work, trying to make them work because they don't want
Right.
to start over. They don't want to find.
Right.
And this is your opportunity in the beginning if you're dating. If it's not working,
It's okay.
to part and say this just isn't right. Because
Right.
then you have this opportunity.
Right.
If you're already in the relationship, you've made a commitment, you have children, then of course we want you to work with us
You do everything
to
that
try
you
to
can.
see what you can't do.
Right.
And we have books and CDs and
Oh,
all
yeah.
kinds of things to help you do that.
There's coaching, there's counseling, there's all types of things that you can do. What I find is that when you are in those long-term relationships, that it is difficult. And I'll be honest with you and just say, even in my marriage, there were some times that I was like, maybe I should leave. But then I had gotten, again, with someone since being a teenager, that's a bit different. Because we've grown up together.
Yeah.
That's really what that we've grown up together. And, do I still love him? I still respect him. I just know that what I'm doing now and who I am now just could not be hidden anymore. And so our roads have taken different paths. And it is sad. And we do have, a family and those kind of things. But at the same time, I am open to say someone else may see everything that I am today, not remembering or even knowing who I was at 19, and saying this is a good woman. This is and I'm not searching, so I don't want y'all to think that I'm doing that. That's not what this is. But what I do see is I help people navigate this adversity because they don't really understand that it really is something beautiful. Adversity doesn't mean that it's always going to be hard or bad or difficult.
No.
It does mean that it sucks, though. It's adversity. So you'll have those days. But if you can have a mind shift about what it's there for,
Yes.
everything really works out.
I had somebody ask me the other day how long they were going to feel as horrible as they felt. And I said, some of that depends on you.
Right.
It depends on what you tell yourself every single day.
Right.
Is it going to suck for a while?
Of
Yes,
course.
it definitely is.
Of
But
course.
if what you do every day is tell yourself how horrible it is and it's not going to be okay, then you prolong that suffering.
Right.
Whereas if you get up, you allow yourself to feel the feelings. When you need to cry, you cry.
Right.
But you carry on your day and you say, you know what? Today was a little better. This was okay. You
Right.
get yourself busy doing things so that you're not spending 24 hours a day,
Right.
right? In adversity.
Two things I tell myself and my clients. this too shall pass, and you shall live and not die. I tell myself that, because that is something that I have to hold on to as a mother, as a woman. Just, this is not unto death.
No.
It's not unto death. And there is life past the pain. But we do have to shift our mind in order to understand who we are in the pain and after, what the possibilities are.
Yes.
It's all about the possibilities of the new and going on in the future. Because if you dwell in the past, that's what you're going to get.
And if you keep remembering,
Oh, my.
because sometimes you can remember things better than they were.
Oh, yes.
Or sometimes you can just kind of stay stuck there. And so you're not appreciating what you have in the current.
Right.
And life is too short to ruin the current.
That's right. You
for
only
that.
get that 24 hours one time.
Yes. So you do have to pick yourself up off the floor sometimes.
You do.
Whether you want to or not. You have to go about your day. You have to go. What about surrounding yourself by the right people?
Oh, definitely.
That could be a final point we could make.
Oh, yes. This is something that I just spoke with someone about, is that who you are around and who you allow around you. If you're around the girlfriends are like, oh, he's a dog, and they keep bringing up his name or keep bringing up her name, and she did this and they did that, you know what? Either you're going to have to tell them we don't want to talk about that. That's not a conversation I will have. Or you're going to have to let them do that somewhere else, not around you. Because, and sometimes I go into a little hiding. And I tell them, I'm in a hiding place right now because I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
I'm trying to move on and deal with it. And so then I get in a little isolation bubble. And when I feel like they're ready to handle me in my situation, then I release myself from that isolation bubble. In the meantime, I have usually found other people to support me.
You might know who to call and who not to call.
Exactly.
Call that
To support
girlfriend that'll
me.
go shopping with you or go have lunch with
Exactly.
you and just have fun and to
And
distract
not say
you
a word.
for a little bit.
Not say a word
Yes.
about him or her. We don't have to talk about that, because some people get so involved in your stuff, then it then becomes their stuff, and you are more than that relationship.
Yes.
And that's really important. You're more than that relationship.
Yes.
You haven't lost out because the relationship is ended. So find those people who can speak to all that you are, not just that part of you.
And if you're struggling, don't struggle alone. There
No.
are people out there to help you. You have two of them sitting right here.
Exactly.
We would love to be of support. We would love to help you. Lindsay, why don't you give them your phone number again in case they want to call you?
My number is 980-202-1598. And you can reach me at my website, lindsayenita.com, or on Facebook. I'm always seeming to be on Facebook because somebody's talking with me. So I would love to hear from you. If you have something that you'd want to talk to me about, I am open for that.
Yes, we are here to help you, so don't struggle alone. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you
I
so
really
much.
appreciate it. This was a very important topic.
Yes.
And don't go anywhere, because after the break, we will continue our discussion on turning failures into wins. You're listening to Ask Lori, and I'm your host, Lori Ann Davis. You're tuned in to WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. Zippy Shell Mobile Self-Storage is the most convenient and affordable short and long-term storage solution in the Charlotte and surrounding areas. Call 704-323-4056. We are convenient. We deliver the storage containers to your door. You load it at your convenience. We pick it up and store it for you and return it when you are ready. Our facility is alarmed and climate controlled. Save time, save money, save everything with Zippy Shell. Call us at 704-323-4056. That's 704-323-4056. We are part of Premier Barter Exchange and are a family-owned and operated company. If you or a loved one are unable to venture easily from your home due to injury, illness, or disability, Compassion Salon Services can provide you with a rejuvenating hair salon service in the privacy and comfort of your own home. Please call 704-774-2204 for more information or visit us on the web at compassionsalon.com. Compassion Salon Services for immobilized persons. We believe the enrichment of life lies through compassion for the soul. So call us at 704-774-2204. That's 704-774-2204 for your in-home salon services. Welcome back to WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte, and those streaming live through the free TuneIn Radio app. You're listening to Ask Lori, and I'm your host, Lori Ann Davis. If you're just tuning in, we have been discussing turning failures into wins. But first, if you need help finding, renewing, or keeping love and passion in your life, I am always here to help you. For more information, check out my website. It's LoriAnnDavis.com, LoriAnnDavis.com, where you can read my blogs, find out what events I have coming up, follow me on social media, or join my Successful Singles group. I'm here to help you create the relationships you have always wanted and deserved. So don't forget, you can also write in with all of your relationship questions. We have been discussing today turning failures into wins. Failures in life and love are inevitable. It's what you do with these in life that really is important. You can let them get you down and keep you down, or you can learn from them and use them to create unstoppable relationships the next time around. Don't let these things come to you in your life and forget how to be vulnerable and how to love again. It's really important to remember that failures in life happen. We all have baggage, but we want to move forward. We want to be vulnerable in order to love again so that we can get out of life what we truly deserve. We want to take a look maybe at what did you learn from what happened? How can you grow so that when you move forward, you're going to be better than you were before? We also talked a little bit about not staying too long and being miserable in a relationship because of the fear of the unknown, especially when you're dating. This really is a chance, if things aren't working out, to move on, to learn what you need to, and find that real, true love of your life. If you're in a relationship and things aren't working, we really do want you and encourage you to get help. Remember, this too shall pass, and sometimes we need help in that, but we can turn these failures into wins and have the life that you always dreamed of and deserve. If you would like more information, you can check out my blogs or my website. You can write me if you have more questions. Feel free to contact me. You can contact me at the radio station at askloriwgiv@gmail.com, or you can call me at 704-999-1781. And for even more information, you want to go on my website and find my 4-part CD set that I just recorded with Dr. Business. We have one CD for each secret to my unstoppable relationships. We are sharing with you over 4 hours of tips on how to improve your relationships. Find out how to get your copy today by going to LoriAnnDavis.com. And join us next week when we will reveal more secrets to finding, keeping, and renewing that love and passion in your life, not only for the weekend, but every day. I want to thank my guest today, Lindsay Enita, for all the great advice she had to share. And thank you, WGIV family, for tuning in, and continue to tune in every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Remember, you can also listen to my Ask Lori segment on the Profit and Growth Hour every Tuesday at 5 p.m., where Dr. Business and I will be answering all of your relationship questions. I'm Lori Ann Davis, and you're listening to Ask Lori on WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. Have a great weekend.
Ask Lori, a show designed to give a better perspective on relationships no matter what the circumstance may be. You can start, have, and keep unstoppable relationships. Lori Ann Davis can tell you how. Have questions? Need answers? Ask Lori.